Hey everyone, I'm back. Let's do some tapping for disappointment. Now, I know that most of us are smart people and we can see how this is all playing out, and we understand why the social distancing is necessary. We understand why things are being canceled. We understand why we're being encouraged to go into our homes, to isolate, and to quarantine. And even if we're very smart people, there's also a side of us that is feeling disappointed, frustrated, angry, sad, all the things. I know that I was really looking forward to a trip to Mexico that we're not going to go on, and most of me is like, it's going to be okay and it's all working out and I'll be able to go on that trip later, and even if I don't, it's all for the higher good and all that good stuff. But even though I have that part of me, there's also, and there always is actually, just know that is truth, there is always the two sides of it. We have the higher perspective. Sometimes we can get in touch with that more than others. And there's the lower perspective too. It's the more animalistic, primal, human, just unrefined, raw human instinct that says, no, this isn't fair. I want to go on that trip. I'm losing money. I'm disappointed. There's all the feelings that go with it. And if there's one thing that I can convey to you, it's that that's always present. You always have both sides. And the more we try to deny that lower self, the more it gets pushed into the subconscious, below our awareness, and then it has to activate through the physical body, through that stress response, to get our attention, to pay attention to it. Now that's going to feel really foreign to a lot of you, and that's okay, but I want you to just play with this and see how it feels, okay? So I want you to, for now, I want you to just take that like higher self perspective out of the way that says, I know it's okay, they're canceling everything for the higher good, it's all good, I can see why that's working out. And I want you to just allow yourself, even if it's 1% of you, 5% of you that's out there that's like, man, this really sucks. I'm really disappointed. I wanted to go to that concert. I wanted to go on that trip. My poor son, they just canceled track season, and he's been training all winter for track season and for baseball season, and it's getting ripped away from him, and he's pretty heartbroken, and we could go to our kids and be like, suck it up, this is the way it needs to be, toughen up. Or we can just hold the space for him and say, yeah, it really, it does suck. And the best way to deal with that is just to allow that voice to come through. If you tap at the same time, you get a deep level of processing and honoring, and a reset in your nervous system that feels absolutely amazing. And I want to encourage you all to do that, because it does suck. Nobody wants to do this, right? So let's just honor that for a second. So let's do some tapping on disappointment. Just tap on the side of the hand with me, okay? And just voice with me. And go ahead and start to tune into your body with that disappointment. Where do you feel that? And I want you to just ask yourself what other emotion might be there with it. For my son, I know, and for other people, especially, gosh, I think about these poor athletes that are seniors in high school, or seniors in college that aren't getting to play the March Madness, and my heart just breaks for them, because that is a lifetime of hard work that they're not getting to express in their season, in their spotlight where they should be shining, and it's all getting taken away. So my heart really breaks for them. So let's just do some tapping in that vein, okay? Even though I'm really disappointed, we're just gonna call it sadness, okay? And I'm full of sadness. Right here in this moment, I'm just voicing my truth. Even though I'm full of disappointment and sadness, I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. It's not supposed to be like this, and I'm so disappointed. And I deeply and completely honor all of my feelings. So just tap on the top of the head and continue to focus in on your body where you feel it, this disappointment. And inside of the eyebrow, it's not fair. Outside of the eye, it's so disappointing. And under the eye, it shouldn't be like this. And it makes me really sad. And under the nose, my heart is breaking, because I'm so disappointed. And under the chin, and just keep repeating after me. Even though I'm so disappointed, I know it's all working out, but I'm honoring all of my feelings. And under the collarbone, all this sadness and this immense disappointment. My heart is breaking. And under the arm, I'm so disappointed. So many things I had hoped for have been ripped away. And on top of the head, all this sadness, all this grief. And on the inside of the eyebrow, this disappointment. It's not fair. On the outside of the eye, it's not fair. It shouldn't be this way. And under the eye, all this sadness and grief, all this disappointment. And under the nose, I'm so disappointed. My heart is breaking. I had such high hopes, and it all got taken away. On the chin, all this sadness, all this disappointment. And under the collarbone, all this sadness and all this disappointment. And under the arm, all this grief. I had hoped for so much, and it's all being taken away. Okay, so take a big deep breath. Check in with your body, and if the intensity of that was a 9 or a 10 before, just see what that number would be now. Hopefully the number is coming down. If it's not, I want you to rewind and just keep tapping that disappointment, okay? Now, if your mind, and I'm going to continue to ask this, if your mind is bringing forward something that it's really focusing on as like, yes, this is the most disappointing thing, I want you to just allow your mind to focus on it, and we're going to tap on it again. Now, again, I want you to close your eyes, or with your eyes open, I want you to really focus in on that most disappointing thing. If you could say, and the worst part is, or the worst part was, what is the worst part that goes along with this disappointment? And just really feel where that shows up in your body. A lot of times it's right here, right? It's right in the heart. There's a reason we call this heartache, because it hurts in the heart. That grief and that disappointment and that sadness shows up right here. Sometimes it's a little bit lower, can show up anywhere actually, but yeah, there's a reason we call it heartache. So let's just tap on the side of the hand and just keep focusing on that one thing, okay? There it is. Man, that's disappointing. I really wanted to do that. I was really looking forward to it. And my heart is broken. And I'm just honoring that truth. All this disappointment. It wasn't supposed to be like this. And I am so disappointed. So heartbroken. And full of sadness. And I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though I'm so disappointed, I really wanted to go on that trip. See, I'm tapping for me now. I really wanted to go. And I'm very disappointed. I deeply and completely honor these feelings too. Okay, and on top of the head, I'm so disappointed. I feel so let down. Inside of the eyebrow, this disappointment. I feel so let down. Outside of the eye, all this sadness. This really sucks. And under the eye. And I'm just voicing that truth. Part of me knows that this is for the highest good. And part of me thinks this really sucks. And under the nose, this really fucking sucks. Yeah, there it is. Move a lot of good energy with that. And the chin, this really sucks. I'm so disappointed. And under the collarbone, and I can feel it in my heart. I can feel it in my body. I am so disappointed. And under the arm, and I'm just voicing my real feelings and honoring that truth. Okay, so take a big deep breath. And just feel in your body. Usually what starts to happen is that voicing that stuff that we've been containing and holding, we don't want to look at, we don't even want to acknowledge it's there. We want to be all good, right? We want to be all present and good for humanity and say, yes, I see why this is wonderful, and I'm not disappointed at all, but really deep down inside, we're all like, man, this really sucks, right? Because we're people, we're humans. And usually after we just give it that little tiny part of us permission to speak, it feels heard. The energy moves through and our body starts to relax. So you should start to feel that opening, that more expansive space in your chest and your heart muscles relaxing, a good sigh, a good yawn, a big deep breath. Those are all signs that it's starting to let go and move out. Okay, now this is what I call over-the-counter tapping. This isn't doing like deep PTSD trauma processing right now. There's ways to do that, but this is just a way to kind of honor the real feelings that are there, do some tapping on your own, and hopefully give yourself a little bit of relief so that you can come back to the present moment and have access to that again, have access to those rational thoughts and your problem solving and that deep thinking again, okay? So hopefully that feels a little bit better. If your intensity is still high, if you're still feeling a lot in your body, I want to encourage you to just keep voicing and tapping and letting that move through, okay? Please feel free to comment if you have questions about this, if you have other specific, physical issues that are coming up with your stress, other, if your mind is just really focusing on a problem in particular, I can absolutely make a video for you. I can roll that into some of the Facebook Lives, some of the tappy hours we're going to be doing this week. So let me know what you think. Please comment below and let me know, if it's feeling any better, if you gave it a try, and, how I can help you in the future. All right, much love to you all. Mwah.